So this first section, all you do is you take the two smallest numbers and add them together, and 8 plus 9 is 17. And if that is bigger than the third number, it's a yes. So this is a yes because 17 is bigger than 11. The next one you have 7 plus 8 is 15, and 15 isn't bigger than 18, so that is a no. And the two smallest numbers on the third one is 3 and 8, which add up to 11, which is bigger than the 10, so that is a yes. For these three, all you do is you add the two numbers and you subtract those numbers from each other, biggest from the smallest from the biggest. So you have 9 plus 11 is 20, and then you put it here, 20 is greater than x, and x is greater than 11 minus 9, which is 2. The next one, you would put the same x here, and it's very important that you put that range. 7 plus 6 is 13, so it's the biggest. It has to be less than 13, and then 7 minus 6 is 1. And then the last one is same thing, x like this. So the biggest number it can be is got to be less than 23. So it can be any number less than 23 and greater than 1, because 12 minus 11 is 1. This section is just mainly cross multiplication. So you have that 3 times 3 is 9 equals 8a, and then you divide by 8, and a equals 1.13. You can round to one place or two places, and I'll be fine. Because 9 divided by 8 is 1.13. Now we have 8x equals 12. And when you divide both sides by 8, you get x equals 1.5. And the next one is 2p equals 50, because 5 times 10 is 50. 2 times p is 2p. When you divide by 2, you get p equals 25. Now the next one, there's a sum, so I like putting a parenthesis around it, and I like doing a little extra work. A lot of you get these wrong because you don't do the extra work. So I like writing it out. 2 times x plus 10 equals 30, which is 5 times 6. And that means 2x plus 20 equals 30. And then you subtract 20 from both sides, and you get 2x equals 10. Divide by 2. X equals 5. So that's the first page. There's two more here. Again, we put a parenthesis, and we have 7 times r plus 10 equals 25. 7r plus 70 equals 25. 7r equals negative 45 when you subtract 70 from both sides. And then you've got, when you divide by 7, r equals negative 6.43. That's an ugly answer, but it's the answer. And then for the next one, you do, I'm going to change color so you can see where one is different than the other. 8 times b minus 1 equals 20. 8b minus 8 equals 20. And you've got, when you add 8 to both sides, you get 8b equals 28. And b equals 3.5. So since we're talking about similar triangles can, if there's two angles that are equal in the triangle, if you remember, congruent triangles can't have a AAA or a AA, but similar can, because it just means they're the same shape but different sizes. So this would be AA, this would be yes for AA similarity. And the next one, if you have 3 sides, you put those in the numerators in order. So the lowest one is 28, 32, and 40. And then you put these in order, so it would be 34, 39, and 51. And when you put those into your calculator, they should give you the same ugly decimal, and these do not, so it is a no, not similar. If they were all the same fraction on your calculator, then it would be a yes. We're continuing on the third page, and for this one, you write your numbers in order. So you would have a 60 and a 72 up here. And then underneath, you would put your numbers in order. So it would be a 50 and a 60. You would put them in order. And we know that this angle here is equal to that angle there. So if these two fractions are congruent, then we can say that those two triangles are similar. And here you would have side, angle, side. And these two do equal each other. So they would be side, angle, side. And it would be a yes. This one, if you want, you can change your, you can draw these as two separate triangles if it helps you. And this is a 97 and this is a 98. And we know that they both have this guy in common because that's this angle right here is part of both of those triangles. But they need two angles in order to be similar. So here you would be not similar because you do not have the angles equal to each other. And the last one would also have two angles equal because if this is 90, we know he's equal to him. And these two are 32, so we know they're equal to each other. Since the angles are equal, they are similar, means same shape, different size. And it's it would be a yes by angle, angle. Number 18, you would put the numbers in order, 15, 21, and 31. And you would put 56, 78, and 110. And then you would reduce each fraction to see if they're the same fraction. The first fraction actually does not reduce. It stays as 15 to 56. It cannot reduce. The second one goes to 7 over 26, and the third one goes to 31 over 110. It also can't reduce. So this would be a not similar because they have to be identical if they're going to be similar. So number 19, you would look at these as two triangles. So we can do the small one and the big one. And this big one would be 110 would be that side. And this side here would be an X, would be the question mark. And here you would have a 20 and a 28. And the 20 goes with the 110. And the 28 goes with the X. And you would cross multiply. And 110 times 28 is 3,080 equals 20x. When you cross multiply, when you divide by 20, you get that x equals 154. Since this one gives you your similarity statement, LM goes with UV, so we'll put the x of LM over the 8 of UV, because those guys go together. And then the NM goes with the 16, the TU. So that would equal the 4, because you always put the first guy on top and the second guy on the bottom here. And then you would cross multiply, so you would get 32 equals 16x, x equals 2. For this one also, I put the similarity statement underneath each other, NTU. And this x here would be NM. It would go with NT, which is this guy here. So your x goes with your 11, and your 64 goes with your 8. And when you cross multiply, you get 8x equals 704. And when you divide by 8, you get x equals 88. And those. So on this one, if you do the same thing, LKJ is similar to LUV, then you know that KJ and UV are the same. So 8x minus 6 is KJ. It goes with UV, which is 28. That means that the other guy, 77, must go with 22. So when you cross multiply, you get 22 times 8x is 176x. minus 132, because 22 times negative 6. And that equals 28 times 77, which is 2156. So here we're going to add the 132 to both sides, and we get that 176x equals 2288. And when we divide by 176, we get 13. X equals 13. So it's real important to put who goes with each other with the right person. So if you don't do that, you're going to get the wrong answer. Okay, we did one like this before, and we put the numbers on the small one are 36 and 36, so we can put those downstairs or upstairs as long as you put them on the same side. And since they're the same number, it does not matter where you put these guys, because they're going to be matched up with each other. It doesn't matter, but you can match them up with whoever you need to. So when you cross multiply, you get 216x minus 324 equals 63 times 36, which is 2268. When you add 324 to that, you get 2592 equals 216x. And when you divide both sides by 216, you get 12. So x equals 12. And one more. We're going to do the same thing since you don't know who goes. Well, in this case, it's the same as the last one. You've got 18s on the bottom guy. So since it's the same number, it doesn't matter where you put the 45 and the 8x plus 5. But you could line them up and put them where they go. So you got 45 times 18 is 810 equals 18 times 8, which is 144x plus 18 times 5, which is 90. When you take 810 and you subtract 90, you get 720 equals 144x. When you divide by 144, you get 5. So x would be equal to 5.